buried under its roots; to the mice, that they will never be safe from the cat unless they tie a bell to her leg to tell them when she is coming; to the ants, that they will live 100 years if they can dispense with flying, for when the ant is going to die she puts on wings; to the whale, that it should be of good cheer, and make friends with the sea mouse, who will serve him as a guide, so that he will never go wrong; and to the doves, that when they alight on the column of wealth they will return to their former state. So saying, Time set out to run his accustomed post, and Cianna, taking leave of the old woman, descended to the foot of the mountain, just at the very time that the 7 doves, who had followed their sister's footsteps, arrived there. Wearied with flying so far, they stopped to rest upon the horn of a dead ox, and no sooner had they alighted than they were changed into handsome youths as they were at first. But while they were marvelling at this, they heard the reply which Time had given, and saw at once that the horn, as the symbol of plenty, was the column of wealth of which Time had spoken. Then embracing their sister with great joy, they all set out on the same road by which Cianna had come. And when they came to the oak tree, and told it what Cianna had heard from Time, the tree begged them to take away the treasure from its roots, since it was the cause why its acorns had lost their reputation. Thereupon the 7 brothers, taking a spade which they found in a garden, dug and dug, until they came to a great heap of gold money, which they divided into 8 parts, and shared among themselves and their sister, so that they might carry it away conveniently. But being wearied with the journey and the load, they laid themselves down to sleep under a hedge. Presently a band of robbers coming by, and seeing the poor fellows asleep, with their heads upon the clothfuls of money, bound them hand and foot to some trees, and took away their money, leaving them to bewail not only their wealth, which had slipped through their fingers as soon as found, but their life, for being without hope of succour, they were in peril of either soon dying of hunger, or allaying the hunger of some wild beast. As they were lamenting their unhappy lot, up came the mouse, who, as soon as she heard the reply which Time had given, in return for the good service, nibbled the cords with which they were bound and set them free. And having gone a little way farther, they met on the road the ant, who, when she heard the advice of Time, asked Cianna what was the matter that she was so pale-faced and cast down. And when Cianna told her their misfortune, and the trick which the robbers had played them, the ant replied, "Be quiet. I can now requite the kindness you have done me. You must know that whilst I was carrying a load of grain underground, I saw a place where these dogs of assassins hide their plunder. They have made some holes under an old building, in which they shut up all the things they have stolen. They are just now gone out for some new robbery, and I will go with you and show you the place, so that you may recover your money." So saying, she took the way towards some tumbled-down houses, and showed the 7 brothers the mouth of the pit, whereupon Giangrazio, who was bolder than the rest, entering it, found there all the money of which they had been robbed. Then taking it with them they set out, and walked towards the seashore, where they found the whale, and told him the good advice which Time, who was the father of counsel, had given them. And whilst they stood talking of their journey, and all that had befallen them, they saw the robbers suddenly appear, armed to the teeth, who had followed in their footsteps. At this sight they exclaimed, "Alas, alas, we are now wholly lost, for here come the robbers armed, and they will not leave the skin on our bodies." "Fear not," replied the whale, "for I can save you out of the fire, and will thus requite the love you have shown me. So get upon my back, and I will quickly carry you to a place of safety." Cianna and her brothers, seeing the foe at their heels and the water up to their throats, climbed upon the whale, who, keeping far off from the rocks, carried them to within sight of Naples. But being afraid to land them on account of the shoals and shallows, he said, "Where would you like me to land you? On the shore of Amalfi?" And Giangrazio answered, "See whether that cannot be avoided, my dear fish. I do not wish to land at any place hereabouts, for at Massa they say barely good day, at Sorrento thieves are plenty, at Vico they say you may go your way, at Castellammare no one says how are ye." Then the whale, to please them, turned about and went toward the salt rock, where he left them, and they got put on shore by the first fishing boat that passed. Thereupon they returned to their own country safe and sound and rich, to the great joy and consolation of their mother and father. And thanks to the goodness of Cianna, they enjoyed a happy life, verifying the old saying, "Do good whenever you can, and forget it." End of chapter 24.